Supriya, Shrinate, the question is also, the nomination hasn't been filed yet. But the person who could possibly file a nomination is also Mr. Tharoor. The knife's already out because many would suggest he's not the chosen one.
No, I think you stand corrected. I'm not going to even respond to the BJP because, so much of hogwash, why would I waste my time? But I will respond to your direct question. And I think your question is very pertinent. There are no knives out. This is what democracy is all about, Preeti. Democracy is about getting as many people to participate in an electoral process as possible. And I think which is why it is important that not just Dr. Tharoor, anybody else, if you've got 10 delegates to back your name and if you're a PCC delegate yourself, you can actually file for nomination. And that's the beauty of the election. I want to ask, which single unit of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and I'm not even getting into, their ramdam, because quite frankly, the only election that was possible for the Bharatiya Janata Party was when Yashwant Sinha asked for the nomination papers. If you remember when Mr. Gadkari was the president. And then of course Sangh stepped in and that whole process was stalled. Ye naye gaye, shayad inko na pata ho, inki jankari ke liye bata do. That was the only time they came close to an election. Even then the Sangh came in and made Rajnath Singh a compromise candidate. Quite frankly, Preeti, there are 9,000 elected delegates who have to work to get elected. I am an elected PCC delegate. I had to go do something, after which my booth elected me, then I was elected by my block committee, and then my name was sent to the PCC. 9,000 of such people will participate in an election when there is going to be one. Which other party can boast of 9,000 elected delegates?
Okay.
Not
but Mr.
one
Nate,
from the BJP.
I want to just come in and I want to ask you that question again. When you talk about... No, madam, but...
10 seconds.
Right. Finish, and then I need to come back for a rebuttal.
Fair
Finish
enough.
what you're saying.
Go ahead.
No, the question that I'm asking you, Mr. Nate, is when you talk about Shashi Tharoor, that he's more than welcome to file his nomination. As I speak, there are members who are spokespersons from your party completely taking him down on social media and WhatsApp groups as well. On the other account, your own unit from Kerala is going in the face of Shashi Tharoor and saying that we support the Gandhis. The Gandhis have chosen Mr. Gehlot, as unofficial it might be.
So that's absolutely wrong. The Gandhis have chosen no one. There is an electoral process which is going to play out if there are going to be more than one candidate. And of course, the results will be decided by the PCC delegates. But as far as anybody is concerned, I don't hold a brief for a spokesperson or for some WhatsApp group. I think all of this is unwarranted. You are putting the cart before the horse. Because quite frankly, it's unfair to judge a process that's underway. There will be nomination, there will be scrutiny, there may be an election, and then the winner will be announced. It's almost like judging who the Lok Sabha winner will be without letting the process go through. I think it's only fair that we have a very, it's a studious process that has to play out, and it didn't start yesterday. This has been done by our founding fathers, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Madan Mohan Malviya, Mahatma Gandhi himself, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Subhash Chandra Bose, multiple other people who have come through this process, including Srimati Sonia Gandhi.
Okay, can I bring in Shehzad back into this conversation? Shehzad, the charge is it was 2004 when elections to the president actually took place publicly, where your party is concerned. That's also a charge. Go ahead.
Okay, let me first, put it on record that Supriya Shrinate, whose arrogance and her elitism is unparalleled, is refusing to answer a question on fact about the CWC members. Let's put it on record that she did not answer about Chidambaram's statement. She did not answer about Article 19 of the Congress Constitution as to how many of the CWC members are elected as per their constitution. Nor did she respond on the statement of P. Muralidharan, who by the way holds a higher position than her. He's an MP and a former state president. And he says that if Rahul Gandhi family backs somebody, that's the person who will become the president. So much for their election process. Even North Korea would be embarrassed to call it.
Let him finish, ma'am. Let him finish. I'll come back to you. Let him finish. One second. Let's not get into this. I'm going to come to you. Make your point. Make your point. I'll come back to you, Mr.
This is a problem with her, a recurring problem with her. I'll ignore it. So this is the kind of elections that even North Korea would be embarrassed to call an election. I don't want to even get into the 9,000 delegates and how they were appointed or elected or selected, because here is Madhusudan Mistry saying no question of making these electoral rolls public. So much for transparency. हाँ भाई चुनाव लड़ेंगे कैसे अगर electoral rolls ही क्या है आपको end तक पता नहीं होगा. But let me come to a more substantial point. Preeti, we have in the last 24 years elected 9 presidents, including Mr. Nadda ji. Nobody is anybody's son or daughter. भाई भतीजा कोई किसी का नहीं है. Grassroots पे पोस्टर चिपकाने वाले अमित शाह जी प्रेसिडेंट बनते हैं, मंत्री बनते हैं तो प्रेसिडेंट से हट जाते हैं. नड्डा जी जो जम्मू कश्मीर तक तिरंगा यात्रा लेकर जाते हैं वो बनते हैं. राजनाथ सिंह जी बनते हैं, जनकृष्ण मूर्ति बनते हैं, गडकरी जी बनते हैं. ये हमारी पार्टी का 24 वर्ष में इतिहास. और इनके पार्टी का 24 वर्ष में इतिहास. 2 प्रेसिडेंट बने, एक मां और एक बेटा, और वो ही चल रहा है, मां बेटे में ही चल रहा है. एंड लेट मी ऑल्सो टेल यू, शी आस्क्ड अबाउट माई पार्टी, लेट मी आंसर दैट ऑल्सो. बिफोर नड्डा जीज इलेक्शंस, we have given each of these things to the election commission. 75% of the booth samitis, 50% of the mandal samitis, and 60% of the Jila Samitis, all of them were constituted as per the constitution, and elections were held. They were sent, then the election schedule was announced. Nadda ji was the candidate. Nobody fought against him. There could be unanimous elections. The President of India also, many times unanimous elections take place. But I want to ask Ms. Supriya Shrinate, if her arrogance permits her to answer, you kept outing Jitendra Prasad's election with Sonia Gandhi as the last election that was at least a badge of honor. Here is Jitendra Prasad to the India Today group saying that it was a fixed election. Comment. सीताराम केसरी को क्या इलेक्शन करके बाहर निकाला था सोनिया गांधी ने? उस व्यक्ति का धोती फाड़कर, नेम प्लेट निकालकर, टोपी धक्के मारकर उनको निकाला था. सोनिया गांधी कौन सा चुनाव लड़के आई थी भाई, जरा बता दीजिए. आप तो उस समय मीडिया में थी, हो सकता है आपने रिपोर्टिंग की हो, पता नहीं की हो नहीं की हो. आपके फादर उस समय कांग्रेस पे सांसद थे, तो हो सकता है नहीं भी की हो, परंतु इसका जवाब जरूर दीजिएगा सुप्रिया जी.